Do you know, I always wanted to be in the Sweetie. Whale is on, and tonight a marvellous programme. We're looking at smoking, amongst other things, great live music, and a competition from the 20 ski holiday brochures for two people in association with Ski Falcon that you could win tonight. But first of all, cue titles. OK, Wales on. This is John Hill. Now, John is a Capri. Did you see the car? Very nice. A Ford Capri. Have a little look. There we are. Have a little look. A Ford Capri enthusiast. Now, how many have you got, John?
Well, I've got 6 altogether. OK,
this is how old?
This is 73.
Now, they were made in 1969, 68.
That's it. Well, it actually started production in 68, but really launched in 69.
Now, what is the beauty of this car? It's not made anymore. It would be 25 years old today?
That's it, yes, 25. It's got to be the shape.
Well, not today, this year.
It's the traditional sort of coupe shape that everybody else has subsequently copied. But if you look at the three-quarters view, that's it for everybody. That's a fashionable shape in the 70s, and that's a symbol of an era.
I had one of these in racing green. Marvellous car.
I suppose you sport it.
I probably did. I probably did. OK, John, thanks very much indeed.
OK,
OK, see some more of that later. You pick me up at 2 o'clock. OK,
right.
All right. Or thereabouts. You're an ugly-looking sod, aren't you? Aren't you ugly?
Thank you very much.
You're really ugly. Would you like to change your appearance?
Oh, I'd love to, yeah.
Would you?
Yes, please.
And be good-looking?
Yeah.
Follow me. Come on. No need for you to sit out here, because I've got a little thing on the show tonight you might like. All right? Yeah. OK, now, first of all, Dr. Sucha. OK, how are you? All right?
I'm very well.
Good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Now, this is, they're very slow tonight, aren't they?
Sure, yeah, well, you know, it's Friday.
Dr. Sucha. Lovely to have you on.
Call me Dorinda, please.
Dorinda?
Yeah, sure.
Dorinda. I thought he'd be great for the experiment.
God, you want me to work a miracle?
I don't know. He's pretty ugly, isn't he?
Well, I'll see what I can do. Sure, well, leave it with me. They don't call me the miracle worker for nothing.
What's your name?
It's Miles.
Is it?
Miles to go, darling.
Miles to go.
Well, would you like to bend over? We'll take your temperature.
Yes.
And we'll get on with it then,
sure,
shall
okay.
we?
Well, I'll let you get on with it, Dorinda. And we'll come back. What we're going to do is like all those things you see on, you know, this morning programs. We're going to come back and you're going to do cosmetic surgery on him and change him totally.
Lighten up. A little liposuction is my speciality, James.
He needs that.
And, you know, a little light surgery. We call it lunchtime surgery. I'm a surgeon to the stars.
Good.
You can get my book, The Cutting Room Floor.
Fabulous, darling, fabulous. You carry on. Get him on there and we want to see something good happen.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, lovely. Well, as usual, we've got the scenery. We couldn't get it ready before the programme. What happened to your hair?
Oh, hello. I forgot to brush it this morning.
Did you?
In the rush to get to you.
You're not French, are you?
No.
Oh, I'll talk to you anyway. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. And tonight you're going to make me beautiful on the set, are you?
Well, a new version of you, yes.
A new version of you?
The effects of smoking on James Whale.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Right. OK, let's go over here. Now, I told you about the competition, didn't I? Well, we're going to talk more about that a little later on. Which camera? This camera over here. Tonight, we're also looking at smoking. Now, we were going to talk about passive smoking, but I've decided to change all that as we do the programme tonight, so that'll really confuse everybody. So, although we're talking about passive smoking, I really want to talk more about banning smoking in public totally. And, of course, everybody here is totally against that. They all smoke, don't you? Do you all smoke? No. You don't all smoke?
I do.
You do? Oh, that's fine. OK. So, although you don't all smoke, let me introduce you first of all to our first... this is Clive Turner, by the way, and Clive is the Executive Director?
Yes.
Of the Tobacco Advisory Council. I'm surprised you don't smoke.
Yeah, but then I don't drink tea and coffee, and if I worked for a Brazil company, I wouldn't have to go around wearing a bra, would I? And it's just a matter of freedom of choice.
You'd look quite... the audience obviously think you look very good in a bra, Ted, so...
No, it's just a matter of freedom of choice. I don't happen to enjoy it. If I enjoyed it, I would.
You would?
Yeah, sure.
OK, so you're basically... I mean, I'm not being... people get the wrong idea. I'm not being rude. But you're basically a drug pusher for a legalised drug. And you're quite happy with your job? Is that,
well,
is that unfair, or is that a little emotive?
I would have thought that was pretty emotive rhetoric. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I do beg your pardon. Okay, Clive.
But then what else would you expect me to say?
Well, no, I wouldn't at all. And sitting next to you, Clive, is a lovely lady whose name escapes me at the moment. But I've got a photograph of her somewhere here, and I was looking for Marjorie Brady, the campaign manager of Forest, Freedom Choice to Smoke Tobacco, something like that.
Freedom Organisation.
Freedom Organisation.
Enjoy smoking tobacco.
But you do smoke.
I do.
Because
our director doesn't.
Yeah.
A third of our supporters don't smoke either. But I do drink.
You do drink?
Every now and then.
Good, OK. Well, we'll get you some champagne later if you're lucky.
Thank you.
Now, Marjorie, you came from working in some wonderful magazines here. I mean, you were the Society for Human Rights on Soviet Affairs, Secretary for the Association for a Free Russia, editor of The Bell. How did you come down to working for an organisation like this? I mean, it must have been a bit of a drop.
Well, in a way, it was using the skills that I'd acquired in studying the Soviet Union and working with the opposition movement and on human rights there to analysing what was happening back in, I suppose, in our own
We're talking
country.
about the freedom of people to smoke here.
Yes.
Not a real serious side. We're talking about the freedom of people to sort of inflict illness on themselves.
Yeah, and part of my job, I look at the propaganda that is produced by the anti-smoking industry.
Yeah.
It's my job to go through, analyse that, look at the language, look at the claims that they're making, and organise some of the research that we're able to do to be able to look at sort of how truthful that is and try to put across to people that there are two sides of the debate, and it's about time we started looking at the other side.
Can I say, actually, before we go on and come back over here to you as well, that I totally, I'm sure that you have wonderful statistics on your side, right? And I've looked at them and I've read them, and I'm sure you're right. But I just find it an offensive thing if I go into a restaurant for somebody to blow smoke over me, or to smoke, or to get cigarette burns in your jacket. I just find it annoying. I don't mind if you smoke anywhere, as long as it's not near me or not in public.
Yes, that's right. Can we make a point there? I mean, it is extraordinary how you can go into a restaurant or a pub, or even somebody's house. You can find a lot of people smoking there, lots of cooking smells and so on, and it can be undeniably, unpleasant and an irritation for some people in some circumstances sometimes. But you can go into another pub or another restaurant, just as many people smoking, and it's not a disagreeable experience at all, because it's properly air-conditioned or ventilated, and that's the way forward.
I haven't been into those pubs. I've been into the ones where you go... and you get home at night and you go, oh, gosh, and it's horrible. It's
but it
disgusting.
Doesn't have to be, James.
No, it probably doesn't. But, I mean, you could have restaurants which say outside, this is a smoking restaurant. And then you go in if you want, and you don't if you don't want.
I entirely agree with you, which is why Forest has been arguing for designated smoking areas so that people can make the choice. I don't care if a restaurateur wants to ban smoking on his premises, that's up to him. But like you, I'd say he ought to stick a notice outside telling people so that, I say, all right, he doesn't want me to smoke.
I wanted to get really angry with you, Marjorie.
You see, people don't realise Forest and a great many of smokers, they are tolerant people. They want to find a compromise. We are reasonable. And I think there's far too much emotive use of language, far too much aggression, and that's what we need to get away from so we can find
Ash
harmony.
wouldn't appear on this programme, by the way, with you.
I don't know, I just wish they would. I just cannot understand why
I'll come back in a minute, Clive. Let me just go over here. This is Boz Temple Morris.
Hello to you.
Who's got a really very silly name. I was just... But, I mean, I've never met anybody called Boz Temple Morris before. It sounds like one of those statues you see. You know, this is a very nice Boz Temple Morris we have here.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fish, really.
Boz. Boz. Boz.
We're making friends here, aren't I?
I was just going to say, where's that Death Cigarettes thing? We had it around here somewhere. We'll give it a few moments. There's a packet here. Now, Death Cigarettes, these are they. I quite like. I have to tell you I like them because Death Cigarettes, and Boz will tell you, will kill you. There is no doubt, they're sure. And they won't do you any good. There's skull and crossbones on there. They were banned from showing... I put it here, and some silly sod, as usual, has gone and taken it off my desk.
You're not very good at it.
Here we are. There we are. This is the poster advertising. Can we get a shot of that? Let's have a shot of that. There we are. That they weren't allowed to show. We're probably in terrible trouble for actually showing this on the programme, which is a bit of a shame, really.
It wasn't actually banned as such. It wasn't made illegal. It was simply that the billboard contractors wouldn't put it up. There was no apparent upfront reason. I can only imagine that they felt they might be upsetting some of their other customers.
Has this upfront advertising harmed your cigarettes or your cigarette sales or not?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, basically, we have approached an enormous market with a unique selling point, which is the truth. I mean, no tobacco company has really addressed the question of health or the promotion of smoking, so what we're saying, if anything, is don't smoke. But if you do, then be honest about it. It's not going to make you sexy or athletic or macho.
Clive, how do you feel about that? Is that the Tobacco Advisory Council? Are you upset about that or not?
Well, obviously we don't represent him because he's not one of our members, but...
would you represent him if he was?
No, they wouldn't. Well, I don't suppose...
Why not?
Well, because he's got a little marketing niche there, and it's a free country, he can do what he likes.
Yeah, but
and if people want to buy them...
you're the Tobacco Advisory Council. I mean, shouldn't you be advising everybody about tobacco?
No, that's not our function. We're a trade association simply representing the major manufacturers here. But, I mean, if he wants to sell those and he's successful and he's making money out of it, fortunately, we still live in a democracy, and it's up to him. And then we wouldn't comment on them one way or the other.
This is the actual truth about tobacco, is simply that it kills. And as a tobacco company, the only responsible way to sell such a product is to make that absolutely clear from the start, and to do so in all the marketing and promotional material that you put out.
Clive, are you a little unhappy about the way he's promoting cigarettes here or not?
Not really. I don't think we've got a particular comment on it. It's entirely up to them. If they're making money out of it...
They refuse us membership.
If they're making money out of it, and
would you like to be a member?
Fine.
We're still deciding.
After we would sort of,
we could try. We'll have a little drink after the show and see about it.
OK, relax. We're going to come back and talk to you in a few moments. Thank you very much indeed. Now, we've had loads of letters. Thank you very much indeed for the letters. Have I got time just to read a little letter here? If you want to write, can you get a shot of our address caption down here, or have I got to pick it up? Oh, all right, I'll pick it up, I suppose. There we are. This is the address. We do everything on the cheap here. I've got a lovely letter from this gentleman here. Do you want to see this? Can I make what? Can I make crap and nod? OK, Mansfield, keep your hair on. Right. This is Joy or Joe Heatherley here. Joe wants to be a star. That's Joe, and he wrote to me, he says, please, if you could give me some time on the programme, I'd be very, very grateful. And Joe comes from Burton-on-Trent. He's got contact telephone numbers here. His songs recorded acoustically in living room on mono tape because I can't afford to do them in a demo studio. So maybe if we get something we could play them on next time, we'll play them. So that's great. Keep the letters coming in. We may mention some more a little later. Programme competition time, right? Now, about the competition winner of a programme a couple of weeks ago, you may remember we offered a pair of tickets for a Valentine's weekend for two with Crystal Premier Cities in Paris. The winner was Linda Barker from Newhaven, East Sussex. Congratulations to you. We've got somebody in the audience somewhere, haven't we, who won something? Where was the audience person? Stand up. What did you win? You didn't win the holiday.
No, I didn't. I won the Bruce Springsteen video.
Bruce Springsteen video?
Yeah, great. It's going really
and that.
Do I have to take that?
Yes, you have to take that. Right. OK. This week's competition we're doing now? Sit.
Here.
Into the competition. Right. I want you to pay attention because if nobody wins this at home, or if you haven't got anybody to take, Crapper's not... why do we call him Crapper? We didn't have a meeting about naming him. Right. The competition. If nobody wants it, I want to go. This week, we've managed to get a fantastic ski holiday. You might meet some of the royal family. A 20 ski holiday in association with Ski Falcon are delighted to offer a wonderful one-week ski holiday for two people, including free rentals. Got it over here. Go up. Free rentals of skis, and yes, that's snow. I thought the audience weren't very good tonight. They're getting into it. That's good. OK. So there we are. That's very nice. Model over there. Not me. Let's see them. That's good. Very good. And all this gear the models are wearing, you win as well. So if you get the holiday, it all comes from white stuff. You win that as well. Shall I tell you the competition? Here it comes. In which country were the recent Alpine World Ski Championships held? Now, you don't know, do you? But you have three choices. Were they A, Egypt? B, there are some cold parts of Egypt, honestly. B, was it Japan? Or C, was it Zimbabwe? Now, and there's some cold parts of Zimbabwe as well. I reckon you're stumped because you would have thought, oh, it's going to be in Scandinavia or it's going to be on the Alps. So was it Egypt, Japan or Zimbabwe? And if you know, the phone number, there we are, 0891 900 007. And the phone lines are open until midnight on Sundays, so keep ringing. A little bit of entertainment. Shall I walk over and talk to these people? I think I might well do that because these people are really quite bizarre. Let me take this as well. You're OK smokers there at the moment, aren't you? All right, just take it easy. We'll be back in a bit. Now, these are the Blackened Deckers and... no, sorry. The Blackened Dales. And who's the spokesperson?
I am Steve.
Steve, how are you?
I'm very well.
Good. You're the Blackened Dales.
Blackened Dales.
And you come from the Black...
Horse.
Horse.
Black Horse Pub, Newhall.
OK, now why are you dressing up like Pratts and doing this? I mean, that's the first...
You might well ask. Well, basically, we're like promoting a show that we're doing in the Palladium on the 21st of this month to a charity show for an incubator for St Peter's Hospital. OK. We're doing a dance routine, and this is our crazy costume as you put it.
And this is Sunday night at the London Palladium, a couple of days' time, on the 21st of February.
That's right.
You've hired the Palladium.
We have.
And you are like the Chippendales.
No comment.
OK. Can you walk with me over here? Over here. What's your name?
Jackie.
Do you know, it's silly, isn't it? But I thought you were a girl. I'm so sorry about that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Whose brother are you?
His brother. I'm his brother.
Are you
yeah.
his brother? OK, right. Well, do you want to get ready, fall in, or whatever you do? What do you do? And then we do it. Yes, I think I'll probably will. Now, you get into the situation, you've been working on this forever, so ladies and gentlemen, please, would you welcome now the Blackened Dales doing a little bit of their routine that you can see at the London Palladium on the 21st of February. So, in those immortal walks... Shut up! No, stop! Have you stopped? Get back, I'll tell them when, not this lot. Just a minute. I was going to say, in those immortal words issued by a man you often see on television late at night, please, cue the music! OK, the Blackened Dales appearing on the 21st of February at the London Palladium. You can see more of them there. They take all their clothes off, all right? The whole lot comes off. Well, you'll have to go along and find out. Now, let me just remind you, the competition where you can win this fabulous ski holiday, 0891 900 007, and answer that simple question, who knows, you could be winging your way to the snow. Back in a couple of minutes. Can I just come round the back here? Dorinda, how are you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
I'll go
look
over
at that
here.
for a heart. Oh, God. Well, look, the guy didn't smoke, so I thought I had to replace his lungs. And trying them for size.
They're good?
They're great. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. We couldn't ask for better.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people calling in as the programme goes on, saying that we should be doing breakfast television because this is more interesting.
Well, bring me some bacon. I'm your gal.
Yes, because
look at those ducks, Jane. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? I mean, just look at that clean heart. Oh my goodness.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Good, okay, fine.
He's fabulous.
Yes.
And I tell you something, I started on the liposuction, it wasn't enough, and I thought, once I've got him here, let's go the whole hog. So I'm recreating a man before your very eyes.
Will you make sure that whatever happened, you're a little mucky.
Uh-huh.
You're all under, you've got nothing on under there as well. Will you...
James, you are so forward.
Will you make sure that you put him back together in the same order? That's all I ask.
Leave it to me, James.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. More from the do-it-yourself plastic surgery a little later on, but now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Gary! Fast becoming the most popular and most famous solicitor in the entire country.
Well, that's very, very good.
Have you been stopped again, asked for your autograph?
Only today on a motorway, would you
Really?
believe? Absolutely.
Having a pee at the time?
Yes.
That's when it happens.
Yes.
You're in there doing this and they say, here.
But he was actually serving me a cup of tea at the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that was a... We're drinking tea. Never mind. Okay, fine.
Replenishing the tea.
It seems that it is getting more and more impossible to get free legal advice. What's happening in this country?
Well, the Lord Chancellor, the government, that gentleman over there's government, Jerry Hayes' government,
later, yeah.
They've decided that you, the public, shouldn't have legal aid unless you are very, very poor. In fact, unless you are basically out of work or earning the level of wages that most of us would feel was an insult to pay somebody.
So what happened if somebody came along and said to you or me, maybe, or to one of our impoverished audience here,
yes,
you've been having it off with a catering person, haven't
Yes.
you? Would we have enough money to take them to court?
Well, if you libel somebody, you can't get legal aid anyway. You never have been able to get legal aid.
So if you pick on a poor person...
You pick on a poor person and call them ugly, say you've been having sex with them when you haven't.
Yes.
There's never been able to do anything. Now, of course, if you run over somebody and you cut the leg off somebody, shall we say, rather like we've got that woman at the back there, I don't know where you got her from, but say somebody cut somebody's leg off by accident, and that person happens to earn, shall we say, £12,000–13,000 a year, which isn't a lot to bring up a wife, pay for a wife and bring up 1 or 2 children. You probably won't qualify for free legal advice. What they want is solicitors to maintain you, to do it for next to nothing, or to do it for nothing when you lose.
We bring you this man absolutely free of charge.
Oh, yeah,
so let's
absolutely free, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get on and do it. Let's have the first question for him. Come on.
The gentleman here.
Yeah, very, very serious question. I'm about to move in with my girlfriend. Should I... Well... She's not a caterer, by the way. Should I draw up a contract to sort of make sure I'm protected? If anything goes
my
wrong?
advice to you is not to draw up any contract when you get married or pre-marriage or when you move in with anybody, be it male or female, the same sex or otherwise. What I do advise you to do, though, is if you buy property together or if one of you owns a piece of property, that you enter into an agreement as to what happens to that property at the end of the time. In other words, if 2 of you own a property, you should be what's called tenants in common rather than joint tenants, so you can both deal with your own estate.
There's no trust anymore.
But it's a question of trust. I do not advise people to go and see solicitors because otherwise it just ruins the whole basis of relationships. And I think relationships...
3 days ago.
Well, yes. She wouldn't go out with me. Relationships are far more important, I think, than contracts. But there are some countries where they believe in it. I personally don't.
The clock's ticking away. Money is scarce. Next question.
There's a lady there.
Okay.
I get a lot of minicabs, and I've heard that if I get an unlicensed minicab, I'm not actually bound by law to pay the fare. Is that right?
Well, that's absolutely right.
Just before you answer,
yes,
you get a lot of minicabs. You can afford your own legal advice. I mean, you're taking up
This is a very interesting problem. The fact is, you probably find that the person himself is not insured, because you have to be insured for something called hire and reward. James, do you like the tie? Come on.
Wonderful.
Basil Saunders of Ilford asked me to show you the condom tie. They're for sale, $39.95.
Very nice. No, never mind. Just because you don't get paid. Next question.
No, hold on. You wanted it. It's yours.
Thank you.
Next question, lady at the back.
Yeah, I just had some double glazing installed fairly recently, and at one of my parties, which were quite calm and collected, of course, I put the stereo. I put the stereo a little bit too high, and the double glazing cracked. Would I be able to get another lot free?
There are experts who can examine the glass and can determine whether it was put in negligently. If it was, yes, you can recover the cost, you can sue. The answer is yes. It should stand up to reasonable levels.
Can we just...
Like Pavarotti.
Can we just... Well, a little problem. You stupid
Oh, look
crap.
at that. I took the tie off.
You took the tie off. I'm not... Fine, OK.
There we are.
The answer is, do not play your stereo that loud again. Move Move to Hampstead or somewhere and do it up there.
Get some headphones.
We'll see you later. Thanks very much indeed. That's great. Nice.
Thank you.
Good. Right, Gary Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen. I keep wanting to call him Gary Isaacs, and it's one of those things, but never mind. Now, readers' letters. Let me move this apart. Thank you for the letters. If you would like, first of all, if you would like to get in touch, if you would like some free legal advice, the only thing is, we'd like you to come in the studio and ask Gary yourselves. But if not, you could write to us. But write in the first instance to this address, Whale on MMTV, 5 to 7 Carnaby Street, London, W1V 1PG. OK, so drop us a line, let us know, or about anything else. We've had lots of letters. Thank you for them all. We don't get a chance to mention them all. This is one here from Mr. Q Modo. I picked this one out because it's... because it's typed. It says, Dear James, I'm a single model... Why am I... I'm sorry, that is really... I apologise. I'm a single male model and would like to appear on your show. I am 6 feet 2 inches tall when I stand up straight, that is. I have 7 front teeth missing, I'm deaf and have a large hump on my back. I'm told by my agent that if the hump was down the front of my... Oh, yeah, I see. I spend most of my time on the bells and most other brands of whiskey. Well, that's all for now. Well, if you write and leave a telephone number or something, we'll have you on the show. Thinking about it. This is nice. This is as well. We've got here one that says, this comes from Beeston in Nottinghamshire. It says, love this show, but do not love all the entertainment. Could you scrap the entertainment and let's have more of the serious stuff? And by the way, I have a friend called David Levine who sings live. And he sings almost anything you want, but not country and western. Name your favourite single and he will sing it. He will sing songs like It's a Sin, My Brother, Lady in Red, Bohemian Rhapsody, Better Than Freddie, I Doubt It Somehow. And any classical song and opera, I see. Thank you for your letter. Talking about letters, we get loads and loads of letters addressed to the one and only, the Honourable Member for Harlow, who's over here, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry Hayes. OK, first of all, Jerry.
Hello.
Right, yeah. First of all, who is the richest... This isn't from me, this is from Mr. Mansfield upstairs. He wants to know, who is the richest MP at the moment in the House of Commons?
Oh, it's difficult really to say. Do you mean...
No, you know exactly who it is. Who is it?
You mean like clotted cream, very rich and very thick? Or...
No, money-wise.
Money-wise. Probably Tim Sainsbury.
Is it?
Yes, of course, because Sainsbury's, you know.
OK.
Sainsbury's.
OK, I thought it was...
oh, no,
Tony
because
Benn.
that's... Oh, all right. You were going to say something libelous about...
What?
Weren't you? You were.
No, I wasn't going to say anything
about libel damages,
no.
Well, I've saved you from
OK,
myself.
why is your party cocking this up and making people work for the dole? I know it's gone quiet, and I know they've backed off a bit.
Completely
it's
untrue.
Ridiculous.
Workfare is something which is
being
considered.
Unfair.
It is not going to happen like it happens in the United States. I can assure you of that.
Are
and so
you
is the Prime Minister. Yeah.
Do you believe him?
Of course they do. Of course. But they were so nice when I first came in. What's happened?
I have to tell you that
so
this programme is the only show on television that has an active MP doing the warm-up. We're going to film it next time when he's not realising.
Not with the jokes.
OK, so you're not going to make people work for the dole?
No.
You are going to try and create some proper jobs? Yeah. Good, fine, fantastic. You heard it here first.
Yes, OK, that's right.
Europe, when are we going to leave Europe and when is the EEC going to be disbanded?
The whole thing is just so depressive. You know, the lower pond life has been revolting this week. Norman Tebbit, you heard about Norman Tebbit?
Listen to them turning on their own.
No, he's not one of mine. He's not one of mine. And Mrs. Thatcher, if you dial 0898, the sex 9 number, you can actually listen to her for 2 minutes talking dirty about John Major's government.
But
and you've done it, haven't you? Tell them. Go on,
yes,
you've done it.
It's very entertaining. Yes. But at least she's trying to give you the freedom of speech that your government denies us in a referendum on Maastricht.
Did you say Mrs. Thatcher and freedom of speech?
Sorry, I mean, that might have been a slip of the tongue. I do beg your pardon. What about a referendum?
No, because we had a general election. The people made their choice. God bless them. God bless them.
Anybody in the audience fed up to the back teeth with the European farce?
We're all fed up, but not with you.
Put your hands up if you're fed up with it.
With the debate. With the debate.
Everybody thinks that the French and the Germans have our own interests at heart, do they?
What?
Oh, well, maybe you're wrong, maybe I'm
come on. I mean, some of this lot probably think an aperitif is a set of French dentures.
Oh, God. Okay.
Or a coup de grace, a Belgian lawnmower.
I'm sorry. Any more jokes?
All right, OK.
Look out.
Someone laughed, anyway.
OK,
All right,
no.
OK. Don't send me over to the doctor, though.
Can I well, you will be going that way if you're not careful. Right, can I carry on? Jerry, you do have a fairly serious position in Parliament, believe it or not.
Yep.
Not only head of wearing ridiculous clothes, but you also look after the anti-smoking lobby.
That's right.
Ash,
yes.
for the government.
Well, not for the government, all party. There's a lot of us very much anti-smoking because it's killing 150,000 people every year, 300 people every day. And what really annoyed me, and I hope they'll come back a little bit later on because we ought to have a really good go at them, the people who represent the tobacco industry are spending £113 million a year promoting death.
OK, never mind about that for the moment. Let us ask ourselves why, in this democracy that we live in, where the majority of people in the country don't smoke, why is it that your government doesn't actually do anything about outlawing smoking?
But you see, we're moving in that direction. Firstly, no, just pay attention over there. Firstly, we've limited the amounts that tobacco can be advertised in shops. I was the sponsor of the Protection of Children Against Tobacco legislation. We are cutting back in advertising, and I suspect very soon, one will be banning smoking in public places, and two will be banning tobacco advertising.
We'll talk more in a minute. Alan Carr. Alan, you actually are helping people stop smoking, aren't you?
I am, yes, James.
How many people do you reckon you have stopped?
Oh, I couldn't compute it. Probably, personally, over 10,000. But I've also do books and videos, and about 5 people today I didn't know would be here said to me today, I stopped with your
In fact, a member of the band we're about to see.
2, I believe, is it? 2 of them.
Yes?
I didn't know.
Is it expensive? I mean, are you really using a little niche to make a lot of money?
We charge £95, and that is guaranteed. If it doesn't work for the person, they have this money back.
So hang on, let me just get that right. So £95, you guarantee to stop them smoking, otherwise they get the money back.
No, I cannot guarantee, but if it doesn't work for them...
You'll give the money back.
The money back without argument, and in last year we had less than 2% of the people ask for their money back.
Robin, you were a patient, weren't you, of Alan's?
I was, yes. I was smoking 60 a day 5 years ago until I attended Alan Carr's clinic.
I mean, I had a grandmother who used to smoke that many and lived into her mid-80s.
Well, we all have an uncle, Fred, who smoked 40 a day, lived till he was 80 and never had a day's illness in his life, and we all sort of cling to this as our one-man piece of market research, conveniently ignoring the fact that he was probably a very strong man, a very lucky man, who'd probably still be alive today if he hadn't been a smoker, and also, of course, conveniently ignoring the hundreds of thousands of people who are cut down in their prime.
How much better do you feel?
I feel immeasurably better. In every way, I feel I can cope with stress better. I feel I can enjoy social occasions better, quite apart from the health side, which is obvious.
Sex life okay?
Well, funnily enough, what you need is a good circulation. What you need is a good circulation to one's vital organ for that particular activity, and I'm glad to confirm...
For that it's true, isn't it? It lowers your sperm count.
Trust you to be smutty. I'm trying to do a programme with no smut in it tonight, and you have to... OK, go on.
All right.
And well, with regard to passive smoking, I currently run Alan Carr's stop smoking clinics, and I must be one of the world's worst passive smokers because we do actually allow smokers to smoke during the clinics. So I'm constantly involved in sitting in a room with sort of 8 smokers puffing away.
You don't want to have that happen to you anymore, obviously.
And, well, this is my own decision. I wouldn't do anything else in my life now. But I do feel sorry for non-smokers in the workplace and in public places who do not have to suffer that.
Robin, thank you very much indeed. We're back smoking more about talking more about smoking later. Let me remind you... No, you can do it later on. But remember the question and come back with it, OK? Don't forget that competition for 2 people for a week in the snow. And I can't... No, we haven't got... Well, here we are. OK, here we are on the 20s ski stuff. 0891 900 007 is the number to ring if you know where the in which country the recent Alpine World Ski Championships were held. Was it Egypt, Japan or Zimbabwe? And the number is not on the screen at the moment, is it? No, but it will be a little later on, and lines open until midnight. Doctor?
Uh-huh.
How you doing?
James, I think, finished, and you are going to be amazed.
Oh, OK, OK. Well,
you're going to love it.
Yeah, very good indeed.
I've reapplied a little upper thigh flesh.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. But before we do any more, I think we're going to have some live music. And I want to come over, I wanted just to talk to you first of all, to this rather interesting group over here who I've never heard of before. They are the Valley of the Dolls. Is that right?
Yeah, hi James. Yeah, we're Valley of the Dolls.
I thought you were American.
No, English. There was an American film called
I know that. Yes.
Valley of the Dolls. Yeah, but we're English.
And you're actually...
From Reading.
From Reading.
Yeah.
OK, we're going to talk some more a little bit later on. We've never heard this. This is a number which is called...
It's called Ruby Red.
And you wrote it yourselves and all that
yeah.
sort of thing? OK, ladies and gentlemen, first time on British television, Valley of the Dolls and Ruby Red! That was brilliant.
Thanks.
That was brilliant. Listen, tell me about your prized possession.
Yeah, we've got a photograph, actually.
Yeah, well, tell me about it later. I just had the thought. Do you want to come back on next week's show?
Yeah.
Because that was
What
brilliant.
day? Friday.
Friday.
I'm meant to be getting married that day.
Well, could you put it off for Friday?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay, competition number 0891 900 007 for a week for two in the snow. If you would like to win that, ring that number and answer that question I told you about earlier. Okay, Doctor.
James, I'm just going to talk you through this. His temperature's fine. I've just reapplied some of that tender upper arm flesh. We've painted it and made an interesting fashion effect here.
Oh, this is lovely.
The boots.
Very nice, yes. Yeah.
I've liposuctioned his thighs, trimmed them down. Well, you know, I only had an hour.
You did, yes.
I didn't have much time, but I think you'll be pleased.
Oh, that's absolutely... What are you... Oh!
See, Miles? Can I help you up, Miles? Oh, he can manage. And now, how do you feel, Miles?
Well, I feel like a new man.
Oh, here he is. Here he is.
No, excuse me. Just a... You've made it the wrong sex. It's not... You've changed the sex.
Well, admittedly, I tied it up a few loose ends. But, I've got them in a jar, you know.
He doesn't seem to know.
Are you happy, Miles?
Are you okay, Miles?
Ecstatic.
Oh, really?
Would you say it's a success?
Perfect success.
I think it's very good. Ladies, round of applause.
Thank you. Oh, Miles, what can I say? It's fabulous.
Can we do another one, do you think, in a couple of weeks?
Sure, just bring me the patient and I'll get to it.
Well, there we are. If you too would like to have your I don't know what to do about that, really. Right. Don't forget, just before we start now here, it's like being a vicar. I always want to do that, isn't it? Just before we start, reminder of the competition, 0891 900 007. You could win that 20s skiing holiday for a week for 2 people and all that white stuff skiing gear. Amazing. Smoking. Let's get back to smoking. And let's go back to Clive, who I was talking to before. Clive, you're from the Tobacco Advisory Council. Do you feel if smoking was banned in public, it would affect your business too much or not?
Well, it would obviously affect business to some extent, but I think what is more important is that it would affect the morale and the pleasure of something like 17 million people who choose to smoke in this country.
Well, okay, you say that. No. Do you think though? Just 1 minute. I'll come to you, Alan. Let me just clear this up with Clive because we don't want Clive to feel as if he's being got at. Clive, it is the majority of people in this country who don't smoke. All right.
And it's been the case since the early 60s.
Yeah.
Nothing new about that.
So don't you think if smoking was just confined to your own private home or places where smoking was permitted, that would be fine? Would you be happy with that?
No, I don't think I would be happy with it, and I don't think vast hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people would be happy with it either.
But I don't want to have to suffer
it's a sort of bully boy tactic, isn't it?
Alan, I mean, you were saying that...
Well, I'd like the question which applies to those three there, to Jerry, it applies to you as well. The government give us the choice, no choice to use seatbelts, something that we could quite have a rational choice about, which saves, what, 100 lives a year? Something that kills 2,000 UK citizens every week.
Just a minute, Clive, do you agree with that it does kill that many people?
Well, I love all the numbers. I mean, there's the MP talking about 150,000. A few weeks back it was 100,000, and a few weeks further back it was 50,000. I mean, where do all these numbers come from?
Let me put it more simply. Is smoking dangerous?
Well, you'd better ask the doctors.
No. I want to ask the Tobacco Advisory Council. Is smoking dangerous?
Well, let me put it this way: 11 million.
Sorry, Clive. It's either yes or no. Is smoking dangerous?
That's an impossible question to answer because you've got 11 million people. I'm sure Alan Carr. Just a moment.
Smoking kills people. Yeah, absolutely. And a tobacco manufacturer should make this clear at every step along the way. The way to address this problem is not prohibition. It is not censorship either. Okay. It is not the method by which if you ban advertising, they'll find another way to get their message through.
Alan, he's being quite
truthful.
If you ban
smoking, he's an honest man. I've nothing against him.
If you ban
he's an honest
smoking,
man. But this is all a red herring. The point is, they say people choose to smoke. There's not a smoker alive that when they had that first cigarette said, I'm going to smoke the rest of my life. It's drug addiction. Why does the government allow it not only to be legal, make £5 billion, allow advertising? Why do the media keep giving these people free television time to advertise their filth?
Please, Jerry, he's sitting next to you. He's an MP. He's of the governing body, if you like. The governing body. They're not doing anything about it?
No, that's not true, because
yes, it's true.
At the beginning of the show, all the things that we're actually doing. But I'm saying to Alan now, look, in Health as a Nation, which is a major primary health care document...
Why don't you ban it?
Just a moment. moment, we've set a target to actually reduce... Yeah, no, it's terribly important because we do live in a free society.
But all politicians talk about doing this, they never actually do anything.
Alan, come on.
You could
pass...
You do it.
You could pass legislation.
Answer yes or no. Why don't you do it?
We will be doing it in
Listen.
Oh, this is free legal advice.
Mr. Tory taxman.
Yeah, go on.
The reality is that your government
it was
gets
true,
a
wasn't it?
fortune.
It was true.
Your government
this is
gets...
Wales Ravenna.
You listen. You never listen.
Go on.
But you're a Tory, I understand. This government gets a fortune in taxation. Let me finish.
Yeah.
A fortune in taxation from smokers. Yeah. You have yet to find a way to tax cannabis, so therefore you render cannabis illegal. Now, this gentleman... Excuse me. This gentleman here... One moment. This gentleman here doesn't represent cannabis, and nor do I.
Gary, just one moment. I want to come to Marjorie, because Marjorie's been very quiet in this. Now, I just want to get this in my mind, Marjorie, because last time I interviewed a guy, your boss, in fact. He was very sort of up about freedom of liberty and everything else. But you said something earlier which was interesting, and that was that you would be quite happy for places to say outside, this is a place where you don't smoke. So if you're a smoker, don't go in there. You're quite happy for that.
It's up to the businessman who's running whatever establishment. What I would be totally opposed to would be legislation forcing him to make it illegal to smoke on his premises. After all, if you run a restaurant, then you know what your clientele is, the type of person you want to attract in. And it should be your choice. You own the property. You should decide what service is offered.
So what you're saying is that if a place wants to have people who are smoking in, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And if somebody doesn't like smoking, they should go and find somewhere elsewhere. But we are the majority. In a free society, we are the majority.
And the market is already changing. You're seeing an increasing number of non-smoking establishments coming into being. And that is because the proprietors believe that they will make more money by offering that type of facility. You should let the market decide. The government has no right telling somebody how they should run their business and what services they should offer.
But of
That's
course,
entirely up to them.
The government do nothing other than tell people what they should do.
It's about time they got the hell off people.
Well, what do you want? Total anarchy? I don't want... Listen, shush, quiet a minute. I don't want people smoking near me, and I am in the majority. I don't want to get out of a train or out of a club or out of a bar smelling of other people's smoke. I don't mind if you use heroin, cocaine, whether you...
society, the majority will look after the minority and it will allow for its pleasures. That's one point. And the point still stands on prohibition and the banning of smoking.
I wouldn't want to see smoking banned. I just want to see it stopped in public places. Do it in the privacy of your own home.
How do you define a public place? Because on a legal basis, a public place would be a place that is owned in public, such as a park. Now, what is being stretched is that a public place is now meaning a private place. A restaurant, in law, is a privately owned place.
No, but if that restaurant wants to say this restaurant admits smokers, that's fine. Then you don't go in and you don't find it. So, Alan, would you agree with this, or would you totally want to stop smoking altogether?
As an ex-smoker, I hate the smell of smoke, but we're talking about as if smokers have a choice.
You'd be broke if nobody smoked, though, wouldn't you? Let's face it, you'd have no business.
It's actually in his interest.
I wouldn't, but the trouble is bans don't help people to stop, and I want to see smokers relieved from the prison of being smokers. The more you bully them, and why do you, James, keep giving these people free advertising to peddle their wealth?
Well,
just give me half an hour, I'll cure the Londoners smoking.
Well, there's only... None of those want to be cured. Let me go down over here to Robin. OK, Robin, you have been cured from smoking. How do you feel about this argument?
Well, I'd like to address the issue of freedom, which Forrest, the Tobacco Advisory Council, and Death keep saying. It's the freedom of the individual. The fact is that the freedom to smoke is an illusion. Of the 14 million smokers in the UK, 9 million of them actually say that they would rather be non-smokers. The other 5 million simply won't admit that they'd rather be non-smokers. If smokers were free to choose, they would rather be non-smokers.
Absolutely.
No, he's right.
Let me leave you with one thought before we go. We're running out of time, as we usually do. Let me leave you with one thought. Clive gave me this... Excuse me, just one moment. Clive gave me this just before we started. It's somebody who is suing for £1 million because of passive sex. And apparently, angry Lorraine Helm is suing her randy neighbours for £1 million because she is suffering from passive sex. We'll see you next week. And next week we'll be talking about sexual domination. In the meantime, this debate will continue. and have a nice weekend. From all of us on Whale On, a very good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.